Okay. I'm gonna try to share this. It was a vision in a story that I got in my meditation last night. I was doing a third eye meditation, opening and clearing, and I got this story, this vision, once it was cleared in the best possible way that I can. The vision was an old lady, and then she turned into a man, and the man turned into Yahweh. And then I was taken back in time, or elevated, towards the Garden of Eden in my meditation and with God. And I was shown that how the fruit was eaten and everything. So I'm going to try to explain this because logical mind does not make sense of it. Quote unquote, if Eve eating the fruit has opened our consciousness, has gave us our freedom, then why did we fall? Like, we were already conscious-wise in Garden of Eden. We were already speaking to God. We were already in our newness because our souls matter. No one had the lust, the sexual desires, none of those things. Which, sure, to a certain point that could be important, but we weren't created that way because we were operating from my conscious mind. We were already part of God because we were already speaking with God. We already had that consciousness. We already knew we were part of Him because He was able to speak to us. And I always see like the spiritual community saying, oh, by eating the fruit, she freed us from God's evil plan. But what evil plan? We were already speaking to God. We were already, when we looked at each other, we didn't have those kind of nasty thoughts and desires, and there was nothing like that. We were already in Garden of Eden. And Garden of Eden, if it's within us and if it's a higher realm, we were already operating from that. But how did eating the fruit help us when everyone just got closed off? All their chakras closed off, their third eye closed off. They lacked communicating with God, with the one who created them. They lacked the knowledge of knowing that they were part of God, that they are God and goddesses. How did it help? Didn't eating the fruit close us all spiritually to our true selves? Because we were already in a higher realm. I'm not saying this from obviously a religious perspective, and I was not showing this in a religious way, but that's the storyline that I was shown, that I was taken to Garden of Eden by God Himself and shown that we were in our highest state as beings. And eating the fruit only brought us here for the lessons that we need to learn to elevate ourselves there. But I still, after 5 years of doing all this spiritual work and after those stories, I cannot bring myself to believe that eating the fruit was good for us. How? Before the fall and everything, if I knew I was a goddess, and if you knew you were a god and you were a co-creation of God, because you were living, you were speaking, you were in the same air, in the same place, you were in the same frequency, vibration with Him, then you just dropped. And now people are awakening, like years after years, the earth, Mother Gaia, she's trying to elevate people, spiritual beings, to awaken their daughters and sons so people know their true power. So the question to you, do you really believe eating the fruit was for the highest good of our, or was it to shut us all up and actually follow the dark entity that wanted the power from the beginning? That's all I have. Love and light.